Hello everyone, I'm MWC and I'm from Lvlmedia, and today I will be showing you what can we expect from Battlefield 1. Basically, over the past week I have had the pleasure of playing the Battlefield 1 open beta, which is what you will see in the background. And I'm here to tell you everything I saw in that and what more could be expected from it by what has been posted on the page on Origin and other stuff EA has talked about. So, the first thing I will talk about is the vehicles. For planes, they had a fighter plane which was fast and one-seated, and it was pretty good. You could customize it to take down bombers or to just take down any planes in general. Another plane they had was the attack plane, and this plane could do both gunning. It had 2 seats on it, so someone could shoot from the back, and that gun could go all the way around 360 degrees. And it could also drop about 10 or so bombs that did about as much damage as a grenade, it seemed, each of them. And finally, there was the bomber plane, which had 3 seats. The pilot did not have control of any of the guns. It was the person in the front and the back seat. They could only go in their direction, so they couldn't swivel all the way around. And it had the capability of dropping either 2 really large bombs or 4 smaller bombs, depending on what your target was, and that could get a lot of kills depending on how strategically you dropped them, and if wherever you dropped them had a lot of people in it, it would kill a lot of people. And next on to land vehicles, I guess. There was the land ship, which was basically a large tank with 2 heavy weapons, or 2 to 4 heavy weapons depending on how you customized it, and 1 smaller weapon in the front for the pilot to drive. And this would have as many seats as it would depending on how you customized it. Then there was the heavy tank, which what it would do was it pretty much was just a bunch of machine guns in a box, and you drove that around, that's what I could see. I never actually really used the heavy tank. The tank I used the most was the light tank, which can be customized for what kind of bullet it fires. It was small and pretty maneuverable, and I used the howitzer model, which you could fire a howitzer round, or you could use a machine gun depending on what you needed to fight with. And of course, it did get me a lot of kills. And finally, there's the artillery truck, which is basically just a truck that had a machine gun on it. And in the event that you needed more power, you could stop the truck and you could use the heavy weapon, which would disable the engine so you couldn't drive around, but you could get about as much power as a tank. So I'm guessing it's more of a, I didn't really use it very much at all actually, but I'm guessing it's just a more mobile and faster version of all the other tanks. Now, there was also the cavalry class, but I'm pretty sure that was just limited to the desert map, but it would just give you a horse, which the horse was pretty good, but it'd be easy to get killed on the horse. So I just saw it as a faster form of transportation to get to a point A to point B and then jump off of it pretty quick. Moving on to elite classes. Basically, in the open beta, there were 3 elite classes: the Flame Trooper, the Sentry, and the Tank Hunter, and they are all equipped with their appropriate weapons. The Flame Trooper had a flamethrower and was always forced to wear a gas mask. The Sentry had a ton of armor to block bullets and had a heavy gun, but its accuracy was not the best. And the Tank Hunter had a massive rifle that could shoot down planes and tanks at a relatively quick rate, but it didn't have much ammunition and you had no armor buffs. So those are the elite classes. They all have their different advantages and disadvantages, and on the EA website and on Origin it claims that they will be adding in more elite classes as the game progresses. It appears most of the stuff from Battlefield 4 is going to be in Battlefield 1, but it will be excluding combat scenarios that you would have experienced in Battlefield 4. For example, in Battlefield 4 there was skyscrapers at some points, and since in the early 1900s in Europe there weren't that many skyscrapers like at all, and the highest buildings to get would usually be around 11 stories or so. High sniping from skyscrapers is going to be gone, along with helicopters and any other modern weaponry that you would be seeing in Battlefield 4, since its setting is World War I. As for the classes, they are relatively the same, except it appears that customization might not be as high on them. As you can tell, that they usually don't have that huge of a range of weaponry and customization, and it seems that you will pretty much, if you're assault, you'll get pretty much a ton of different varieties of an SMG. If you're support, you'll get a ton of varieties of machine gun. If you're medic, a ton of varieties of rifles that can either be automatic or semi-automatic. And if you're a sniper, of course, you'll only be getting sniper rifles pretty much. And of course, there's the new 5th class, which is a pilot or vehicle driver, and they're equipped with the carbine in the beta, but you might be able to customize it further. I don't know. It looked like it because it said more weapons available in the full game. The maps seem to be almost entirely set in Europe and a little bit in Africa for the Ottoman Empire maps, and that is because, of course, World War I was primarily fought in Europe. I'm not too sure about what game modes they will be having in this, but it seems that most of the original game modes, or all of them, will be returning in this game. Another thing to expect is that whenever a team is losing, a major vehicle will be released, whether it be a blimp, a battleship, a train, whatever. In the beta it was a train, and with my experience with it, it did not seem to gain enough kills or capture enough points to be that effective against the enemy team. However, it does boost your allies a good amount. Now, a few differences between this game and Battlefields in the past is, of course, the setting change has been drastic. There's no modern warfare, locking on, helicopters, all that stuff. It's all gone. Assault rifles and other weapons such as that, handheld RPGs, they're gone. Anyways, I have had a load of fun with this game, the open beta, and I will certainly be purchasing it when it comes out. The setting is pretty cool. I haven't seen this done with many other games. The only other one I saw was a game on Steam that was like an indie game set in World War I. But this will certainly be a pretty fun experience. It may not suit everyone. For a lot of people enjoyed Battlefield 4 for its modern style, and that will be gone in this game. But it should be a great game. Either way, I am MWC, and I am with Lvlmedia. Goodbye, guys.